Welcome to Travel Mind, where we explore the untold stories, quiet corners, and unexpected rhythms of life around the world. This channel is powered by curiosity, crafted with care, and brought to life through storytelling. If you're ready to see the world not just through your eyes, but through a different lens, you're in the right place. Morocco, a name that tastes of cinnamon, mint, and sun-soaked stones. When most people think of this North African country, they picture postcard images, golden desert dunes rolling into the horizon, the mesmerizing chaos of Marrakech's Medina, or the striking blue walls of Chefchaouen glowing beneath the sun. But beyond the cliches and curated snapshots lies a very different Morocco, one that's lived, not visited. It's in the pauses between conversations, the rituals of daily life, and the way silence often says more than words. The first few days in a Moroccan city might feel overwhelming. Horns blare, children dart through alleys, the scent of spices mingles with exhaust fumes, and the markets buzz with life. It seems like chaos, but give it time, and something beautiful begins to unfold. You start to notice that the chaos has choreography. There's a rhythm to it all. When the baker opens his stall, when the fruit sellers arrive, when the call to prayer ripples across the rooftops. Life here doesn't run on clocks as much as it moves with the sun, the seasons, and a deep understanding of when things should happen. Step into any cafe, from a roadside stall in Tangier to a tiled corner in Rabat, and you'll likely find a row of men sitting quietly, all facing the street. It may look like idle loitering to the untrained eye, but this is an old and respected tradition, part people watching, part social intelligence. In these moments, they are gathering information, not gossip, observing, not judging. They are mapping their world in real time. Who's walking by? Who isn't? What has changed? The cafe is not a place of withdrawal, but a hub of connection, quietly political, deeply cultural. Meanwhile, the movements of women in public tell their own stories, ones that vary by geography, class, and personal belief. In Casablanca, women walk with fierce independence, earbuds in and heels clicking. In Fez, there's more subtlety. Long dresses brushing cobblestones, eyes occasionally lowered but always observant. In mountain villages, women move through streets wrapped in tradition and fabric, but beneath all of it is a deep agency. Moroccans, men and women, understand how to read public space. Every glance, every step, every silence is part of a conversation. Public life in Morocco is only half the story. It's behind closed doors where the country truly reveals itself. On the street, there's formality, reservation, sometimes even a sense of stoicism. But once you're invited in, through a heavy wooden door carved with floral motifs or a narrow stairway leading to a tiled courtyard, everything softens. Slippers are offered, cushions are rearranged. Mint tea is brewed with theatrical height, and you are no longer a visitor, you're a guest, and that means something sacred here. Conversations open up, jokes fly. The private soul of Morocco is warm, animated, and unfiltered. Tea, especially mint tea, is not just a drink in Morocco. It is a ritual that frames daily life, business meetings, and even moments of grief. Brewed strong and poured high, it's a small performance with great cultural weight. Sugar is not measured with spoons, but with instinct. It is both a pause and a gesture. To be offered tea is to be welcomed. To accept it is to show respect. The act of serving tea is layered with meaning. It creates a moment where time slows down and people truly see each other. Unlike the West, where appointments and invitations are meticulously planned, Moroccan social life is much more fluid. Visits are often spontaneous. A friend or neighbor might knock at your door unannounced, not because of urgency, but because they were nearby and thought of you. It's not considered rude. In fact, it's the opposite. Hospitality isn't scheduled. It's embedded into the rhythm of daily life. And when a guest arrives, everything else pauses. The kettle goes on, bread is brought out, stories are shared. This unhurried intimacy is what knits the social fabric together. But Moroccan hospitality is not without subtle codes. There are invisible hierarchies at play, shaped by age, gender, family reputation, and regional background. The oldest guest is often served first. The person pouring tea does so with deference. Seating arrangements and even the way dishes are passed say something about relationships. These rules are rarely spoken but always known. They are the quiet grammar of Moroccan interaction, and learning them takes time, observation, and humility. Step beyond the cities and you'll find a Morocco many visitors never see. Villages nestle in mountain valleys and cling to desert edges. Life slows. Here, time is marked not by digital clocks, but by the sounds of nature and the needs of animals. In some towns, the weekly market is still the heartbeat, the place where news is exchanged, deals are struck, and social bonds are renewed. In these places, donkeys outnumber cars, and everyone knows not just your name, but your father's, your grandfather's, and your childhood nickname. In the high Atlas Mountains, winter brings snow, thick and isolating, but with it also comes pride. Homes are built of earth and stone, passed down through generations. Heating comes from firewood, gathered and rationed. Life is harsh, but not bitter. There is a stoic beauty in the way these communities endure, through ritual, family, and the fierce belief that the land provides as long as you respect it. Morocco's language map is as layered as its culture. Arabic is official. Amazigh, the language of the indigenous Berber people, is spoken widely in the mountains and countryside. French lingers from colonial days. In cities, you'll hear English more and more. But the real Moroccan language is a combination of gesture, tone, and eye contact. A raised eyebrow can mean curiosity. A hand over the heart means sincerity. Moroccans read between the lines instinctively. Communication here is intuitive. Markets, mandior souks, are where Morocco reveals its theatrical soul. They are chaotic, yes, but also deeply structured. Sellers shout, haggle, flirt, praise their goods, but beyond the commerce is performance. Every stall is a stage, every buyer an actor. There's poetry in the pitch, strategy in the silence. To buy something is to enter a negotiation that is part tradition, part game. Even if you don't purchase, you walk away with a story. Moroccan cuisine is slow, layered, and deeply social. Tagine simmers for hours. Couscous is steamed on Fridays, not for individuals, but for families. Bread is sacred. Meals are eaten with hands, from shared plates, and usually sitting close. To eat together is to trust. Meals are where children learn values, guests become friends, and the day's tensions dissolve in flavor and laughter. As the sun dips below minarets and rooftops, the atmosphere in Moroccan towns changes. The evening call to prayer rings out. Shops pull down metal doors. Families gather around television sets, small tables, and stories passed down like heirlooms. Evenings are not just an end to the day. They are a return to the hearth. The world outside retreats. The interior world glows. But Morocco is not trapped in time. In cities like Rabat and Casablanca, tech startups are emerging. Young people navigate between prayer rugs and playlists. They wear jeans and djellabas, speak Arabic and memes. They're global but rooted. They're questioning old hierarchies but still honoring their grandparents. This generation doesn't want to break with the past. They want to remix it. Contradictions don't confuse Moroccans. They live within them. A man might pray 5 times a day and still enjoy an espresso at a French-style cafe. A woman may fast during Ramadan and also run her own business online. These juxtapositions are not seen as hypocrisy. They are part of the Moroccan rhythm, adaptive, contextual, honest. It is a country that lives in the gray, not in absolutes. Religion in Morocco is quiet, but ever present. Mosques call out across cities and villages, but no one forces observance. It is a lived faith, casual but sincere. Religion shapes the calendar, the greetings, the moral compass. But it doesn't dominate the conversation. Instead, it whispers through daily life, like the smell of spices in a market, constant, familiar, comforting. Then there is the desert, vast, silent, humbling. The Sahara stretches like an ancient memory across the southeastern edge of the country. To sleep under the stars here, with sand as your mattress and wind as your lullaby, is to be reminded of your smallness. The desert does not shout, it listens, and in its silence, it teaches. The desert, too, has its people. The Amazigh, Berber nomads, have lived in harmony with this harsh land for centuries. Their homes are mobile, their traditions oral, their hospitality legendary. They wear indigo-dyed robes, ride camels, and navigate by stars. But they also check WhatsApp and use solar panels. Again, Morocco resists your categories. In Morocco, even the baths tell stories. The hammam, a traditional steam bath, is part purification, part therapy, part community. Especially for women, it's a sanctuary, a place to laugh, cry, scrub, and connect. It's intimate without being private. It's social without being performative. The hammam is where layers, physical and emotional, are gently removed. Children in Morocco grow up bilingual, often trilingual. They learn respect through ritual, curiosity through chaos. They memorize prayers and pop songs. They watch cartoons in French, study in Arabic, and play video games in English. Their future will look different, but it will carry the scent of couscous and the rhythm of the call to prayer. Of course, all is not perfect. Morocco faces challenges: youth unemployment, housing shortages, educational gaps. But the response isn't despair. It's resilience, a kind of grounded optimism. Solutions are not shouted in headlines, but whispered in small innovations. A new well dug, a school opened, a woman launching a cooperative. Change here is humble but real. Everywhere in Morocco, opposites coexist. A donkey tied outside a modern bank. A satellite dish on a mud brick house. A prayer rug laid under a flashing billboard. Nothing erases what came before. Everything layers upon it. This country is not interested in tidy narratives. It embraces its messiness, and that is what makes it whole. So when you come to Morocco, and you should, don't just capture it through your lens. Experience it through your senses. Taste the olive oil and orange blossom water. Feel the mosaic tiles under your feet. Smell the cedar wood and cumin. Listen not just to what is said, but what is meant. And above all, look for the silences. They hold the truth. Thank you for watching Travel Mind. If this story moved you, inspired you, or simply made you pause, consider joining us on our next journey. Subscribe for more AI-crafted, human-centered explorations from around the globe. Until next time, keep your mind open and your passport ready. Morocco does not beg to be understood. It invites you to try. It is a poem written in a language with no alphabet, a dance that begins before the music starts. And if you pause long enough to really see it, beyond the markets, beyond the minarets, you'll find a country that contains entire worlds behind its walls. This was Life in Morocco, secrets hidden behind the walls. Thanks for watching. And remember, the real stories often live in the quietest corners.